we will request the distinguished members who are already on the stage to do the opening remarks. The first one will be the representative of PAFOM, Madam Sise. You have the floor.
Thank you, moderator. Excellencies, distinguished guests, I would like to present sincere apologies from the DG IOM, who couldn't be with us at this closing ceremony due to overcommitment. He requested me to read his statement. So, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the government of Rwanda for hosting this forum and to present my heartfelt congratulations to our Rwandan host and the African Union Commission for this successful meeting. African countries have once again demonstrated their leadership on the question of how to address migration and displacement in the context of climate change. The Kampala Ministerial, which led to the adoption of a historical declaration on climate change and mobility, is testament to this leadership. Our discussion this week also built upon the Aswan Forum, which took place in June 2022, and which focuses specifically on the climate change, fragility, peace nexus. The concluding recommendation include concrete action addressing the serious issue of climate displacement, which will be further discussed extensively during the upcoming COP27 in Egypt. Similarly, the Tunis declaration of the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 8, recognized the interlinkage between climate change, fragility, and peace in Africa. This gathering, including this one, have allowed us to raise awareness on and give more visibility to the serious impact of climate change on migration and displacement at the continental level. Perhaps more importantly, it has also created a common understanding among member states, regional economic community, and other stakeholders on key needs and objectives, paving the way for enhancing cooperation on the identified priority. This meeting has also provided a platform to share experience and best practices and formulated a unified African position ahead of the upcoming COP27 in Egypt, which is critical. IOM calls on all parties to consider and include the importance of human mobility, encompassing migration, displacement, and mobility in the context of climate change, in their national statement at COP, and perhaps in the final declaration itself. I would like to reiterate IOM commitment to work with member states to ensure that African perspective on climate-induced mobility are given the attention they deserve, and to provide technical and policy support in this regard. Given our commitment to achieving stronger recognition of migration consideration within existing climate framework, IOM will be an active presence at COP27, working in partnership with government, UN agencies, international and regional entities, and civil society to achieve this goal. And I look forward to seeing many of you next month in Sharm el-Sheikh. Before concluding, I would like to thank the estimated participants for providing a forward-looking vision for addressing these pressing issues. In particular, as has been emphasized by the AUC, there is a need to develop the necessary policy framework and initiative to address climate-induced migration and displacement at national, regional and continental level, and innovative program that will support member states in addressing the impact of climate change-induced migration. In addition, emphasis was all made with regard to ensuring the protection of human welfare and the participation of all stakeholders to address the challenges in a holistic manner. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude again to the government of Rwanda for their leadership on these issues and for bringing us together to galvanize cooperation and advance a common approach. I thank you.
We will now get the closing remarks from the representative of the African Union Commission, Madam Angela Martins.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Her Excellency Minata Samati Sisuma, Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development of the African Union Commission, I wish to congratulate all ministers here present, senior officials of AU member states, IOM, international partners, and all delegates for the success of the 7th Pan-African Forum on Migration. I especially extend my appreciation to the chair of the 7th PAFOM, the Republic of Rwanda, for the necessary support given to the African Union Commission and for the tremendous work done by the government of Rwanda as host of this meeting. We can all agree that this meeting was well coordinated and its objectives have been met with a great sense of success. This meeting has set another stepping stone for addressing climate change and migration on the continent, and the African Union Commission extends its gratitude to member states and partners for taking these great steps with us. Through this meeting, the African Union will be well represented at COP27 to resound a common African position that focuses on Africa-based solutions to climate change and migration. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as we close the 7th PAFOM, I take this opportunity to urge member states to act beyond this forum and take transformative actions based on the outcome report. As noted in various sessions, there is need for us to address climate change-induced migration and displacements through building adaptation and resilience strategies. There is need for us to also develop policy coherence at all levels, mobilize climate finance, and further strengthen multi-stakeholder synergy. Further, the issue of enhancing data and research has enablers for sustainable policy development and implementation on the nexus between climate change and migration has been stressed in the meeting. As agreed, for us to move forward, we need to strengthen Africa's policy and legal frameworks on climate change, migration, and displacements. I take this opportunity to further emphasize the need for more collaborative approaches to the development and implementation of these policies and legal frameworks at the continental and even national levels. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, and as reiterated in the opening session, the African Union Commission will continue to support AU member states at different levels in addressing the impact of climate change on migration and displacement on the continent as a roadmap to achieve the Africa we want. We look forward to finalizing the report of the 7th PAFOM and immediately embark on the implementation. We also look forward to pushing forward the policy outcomes and actions of this important meeting. Once again, I wish to thank the host country and our new PAFOM chair for supporting us to successfully host the meeting. To our partners, IOM and IFRC, amongst others, we look forward to jointly collaborate as we plan to host the next meeting of PAFOM. Lastly, I wish to thank the honorable ministers who have graced this meeting amidst last tight schedules. We look forward for your continuous support during the next ministerial meeting in 2024. To our senior officials, delegates, we thank you so much for the patience and for your active contributions during the last 3 days. As you travel back to your respective homes and countries, we wish you all the best in your travels, and we hope to see you all again in the next meeting. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Angela. Honorable Minister Judith Awizeye, Minister in the Office of the President, Republic of Rwanda, will close this meeting, or officially close this meeting. I invite you on stage, Minister.
Excellencies, honorable ministers, distinguished head of delegations, distinguished delegations, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm deeply honored to be here with you once again and to deliver the closing remarks of the ministerial meeting that focused on the theme addressing the impact of climate change on migration and human mobility in Africa, building adaptation strategies and resilient communities. I would like to express my appreciation to the chairpersons, moderators, and panelists for their valuable contributions during this meeting. My deepest gratitude to all who attended this successful meeting. I wish to express my appreciation to the fellow ministers and distinguished delegates for honoring our invitation, staying with us through the meeting, and for all your great contributions. Allow me to particularly congratulate the senior officials for their excellent contributions and recommendations. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this PAFOM 7 has been an opportunity for us all to deeply understand the impact of climate change on migration and human mobility in our continent and propose pertinent recommendations to mitigate them. We have been able to share best practices and experiences of national realities and efforts in addressing the impact of climate change and human mobility. It is now important than ever before that all member states fast-track the ratification of relevant continental and international legal policy frameworks to ensure protection for climate-induced migrants on the continent and to take responsibility for developing innovative solutions to enhance accountability, adaptation, and resilience in the continent. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we need a continental, multidimensional approach to reducing vulnerability, and need to keep in mind that approaches that include all vulnerable groups will ensure the most effective responses. Supporting the operationalization of humanitarian development peace nexus is a priority. We need to better understand and address the linkages between migration, environment, climate change, human security, and conflict. We need to align our strategy to respond to migration and displacement with our civil protection, disaster risk reduction, and development plans. We need to develop more comprehensive approaches to climate-related security risks and promote human rights-based and gender-sensitive approaches to support those displaced in the context of climate and environmental impacts. We need to channel our efforts and investment into prevention and preparedness at the community level and into early action to tackle the climate emergency and the root causes of vulnerability. Such actions are essential to support our commitments towards sustainable development and peace. I call upon all member states present here through collaboration with the African Union Commission and the PAFOM chairmanship to ensure the recommendations made during this PAFOM 7 are put into action on the national level and through respective regional economic communities. Rwanda is the chair of PAFOM 7 and looks forward to working with all AU member states, partners, and stakeholders in close collaboration with the African Union Commission to consistently address migration governance issues on our continent. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the African Union Commission and partners here present for their great role in organizing this very important forum, and all of you present for honoring the invitation and your valuable distributions that led to the success of this event. I wish everyone safe travels as you return home. Finally, on behalf of the government of Rwanda, I declare this 7th Pan-African Forum, PAFOM 7, officially closed. Now, let me take this opportunity also to invite you to this evening dinner. It is very important, and let me highlight this. Everyone should be here so that you can relax after these years of stress and hard working. You have to relax. You have to dance and chat. So please don't miss this evening's dinner. It shall be very interesting. Avoid high heel shoes and suits. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair, for bringing us to the end of PAFOM 7 meeting on such a high note that we are invited for dinner. With your permission, Chair, we would like to, before we go to recognize the contribution of everyone who has been working behind scenes. I'm thoroughly convinced that if the logistical arrangements are in shambles, the meeting will be in shambles. So please give them a round of applause. And we thank the media in Rwanda that also came in. We noticed that we were trending in the national television. Thank you to the media and thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair.
We are free to move. Thank you very much.